Week 5 stand-up, February the 9th for Trident. We're in the middle of this sprint, so a lot of what we're just working on is getting tasks done, so we've got nice stuff to show off. As far as I'm concerned, last week with Manual, we went over and we redid a bunch of the numbers for generating Leviathan, as well as taking a look at the Leviathan encounters and how those are spread out across the different threat levels. So it's been a lot of crunching math, trying to figure that out, and that's what we're going to be working on today. I've got all the pieces for from our previous playtest, so we're going to be trying to just do a bunch of quick battles, see if the generation curve that we've created for the Leviathan matches up with the Trident, so that way the Leviathan have this nice curve of being as good, if not a little worse, than the Tridents, and then hit a point where they start exponentially growing, but on a steady line, so that way you don't have the enormous gulf that we previously had between like a class 6 and a class 5. And so all that should be a little more standardized. So we'll be trying that out today. Daniel can't be here because he's currently at work. I believe he's the chef. But I know he's been working on the UI stuff, and so we're going to have hopefully a conversation with him later today with the other programmers. We'll have some Git stuff that we need to get over. But that's kind of the plan for me for today.
Zachary Worrell, lead programmer. This past week I've just been continuing to research and trying to figure out how to get haptics working. It seems like every single link I find about haptics is just a link to the Unity asset store and plugin, so that's been fun. And other than that, I've just been messing around with the dice roller, making it so that you swipe to roll dice now. You can add as many dice as you want or reduce the number. And yeah, that's about it.
That plugin, how much is it, and do you think
I have found a lot of plugins.
Okay. If it comes to it, we can always get a plugin.
Right.
So it's just a matter of.
I can probably just get one of the free ones and just try to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea, because at the very least, if after tearing into that thing and figuring out how they've got that set up, it would be too much of a hassle for us to start from scratch. We can then look at the plugins that they've got on the Unity Asset Store, find one that's more appropriate for us, and then throw some money at it if we need to.
Okay.
I'm Shelby. I'm the lead artist. I worked on coloring and shading, lining a whole bunch of Leviathans, and I worked on a lot of concept art for them. I also created a concept image just for one of the Tridents, just to maybe help James out a little bit with trying to figure out how the body types are going to look. And I plan on just finishing up a couple of final images after Donald takes a look at them and stuff. He gave me some great feedback last week, him and Molly did. So hopefully we're on the right track with that.
I'm Frank, game designer. This week I looked up a lot of powers, abilities for Leviathans mostly. So I got those in a couple of books back downstairs. So
I'm Manny. I'm a designer for Trident. Last week, like Donald said, we were working on making changes to the Tridents and the Leviathans, just smaller changes for the Tridents and then Leviathans with all the numbers that were changing, so I was just working on actually getting those into the rulebook. Gonna be playtesting stuff today and continue to work on that in the future.
I'm James. I'm working on the Trident and I'm doing art. Most of last week I was learning how to do a more realistic character sketch than just kind of a regular robot sketch. And this week I'm going to be doing more of the robots and getting some help from Shelby and Donald.
John?
I'm John Nix. I'm one of the artists on Team Trident. I've been working on 3D modeling. Started out with the art test, which has become, I guess, the UI scene for the game. I've been going through the reference images Donald has sent me, building a holographic table, building more assets for the scene, such as ductwork, piping, electrical conduits, getting them into the scene. I've been a little slow going this week. I've thrown this flu bug thing that's been going around. I'm still trying to get in when I can get in. Touch base with Daniel Detlaff You mentioned, he's been doing he's one of the coders doing UI. I was able to FBX out the animation of the holographic table with the slider arms, but for some reason when he brought it into the program, and I went back and checked it myself, one of the arms is animated backwards after it's FBX out. I brought it back into 3ds Max to try to work out that bug, and put a second FBX into the Google Drive file. He is supposed to go on and check that out this morning before he went to work, but apparently he didn't have time. He had to get to work, but he's going to be getting back to me on that. So if there's any more issues, I can work out the animations for it, so he can get the UI tied to it.
I'm Michael Shepard, a programmer on Trident. Last time I got a save system worked out where we were able to convert the data into a JSON save and save that. Right now I'm trying to make a centralized save manager so that way when we put in PlayFab integration, which is also what we're working on right now, it will all be nice and clean and it will work perfectly. And that's about it.
So, like I said earlier, it's a lot of just continuing the things we're working on, getting those finished up. This Wednesday or Thursday, I'll look at what we have as far as the digital resources, see if there's a build there to be made. Otherwise, we'll just be doing another playtest. I'm going to contact, it's on my list of things to do, it's just lower on the priority, but I'm going to contact some DB folks, see if we can't get this next playtest recorded. And I'm also going to work out a guideline for the playtest, so that way we have a little bit more structure this time. And also we have to figure out what our playtesting goals will be, which I think we'll do after we do our own internal playtest today. But that's pretty much it for this sprint, or this stand-up.